Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we have an exciting video. We have an almost full face of new makeup that is available at Sephora. So we are going to be using the new Makeup Forever HD Skin Sculpting Palette, the Anastasia Cosmos palette, the Saie Glow Sculpt in Mauveglow, and then we also have one of the new Kosas lipsticks. So super excited to get all these on my face, show how I can do like a very quick wearable look. And I feel like a lot of these are going to maybe be on individual sale on brands' websites for July 4th. You never know. So wanted to call that out there, that don't feel like you need to rush and order these at Sephora, because very likely there'll be some sales coming up. So if you're interested in seeing my thoughts or hearing my thoughts, seeing me put all this makeup on my face, go ahead and keep on watching, and thumbs up, subscribe, the usual. Thanks. Okay, so starting off with complexion. This isn't like super new. It came out maybe 2 months ago. I picked it up from the Makeup Forever website. Actually, I did not get this at Sephora because Makeup Forever was having a great sale for Memorial Day. But a little bit more about this launch. So this is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Face Sculpting Palette. So we have a mixture of like shimmery highlighters, and then we have like concealers, bronzers, essentially what you would need in order to sculpt the face. I did use self-tanner on my face a couple of nights ago, and I find when I do that, my skin doesn't need as much foundation. So I think we can just get away with, I'm going to probably apply a concealer under my eyes, and then we can try doing some like spot concealing with this and see how it works. Okay, so I didn't get a ton of sleep last night, so my eye bags are not great today. So let's start off using, I don't know if I've actually talked about this yet on my channel, but I'm absolutely in love with the Givenchy Prisme Libre Concealer. I picked this up during the last Sephora sale and have never looked back since. So I am just going to go in, apply a little bit of this, and then maybe I'll apply like a little on my nose. I don't know. That looks good to me. Okay, now let's blend it out. I didn't dampen a beauty sponge. Maybe I'll go do that. Actually, for now, I'm just going to use, I've been loving this brush. This is from Lauralee Los Angeles. This is the L11 brush. And I've just really been liking this for stamping in complexion products. Like, okay, already blended. I'm going to apply eye primer just so that's like drying before we do the eyes. So I'm just going in with the Sephora Boost in Lock, Sephora Collection Boost in Lock eye primer. If anyone has like an eye primer they're particularly obsessed with, please let me know in the comments below. I usually use Urban Decay Primer Potion, the anti-aging one, or like the one for old crinkly eyelids. But if you have one that you're particularly obsessed with, let me know in the comments below. I would definitely be open to trying a different one out. And then this one is pretty good as well. Now for the rest of the complexion. I think I'm like looking up close. Let's start with the contour. So let's go in with the shade here. They don't have shade names or numbers. Or if they did, they were on an insert that I don't have, but I don't believe they had shade names or numbers. So we're going in with this one here, which I'll put it up close. It is like a very nice taupe, perfect for creating like a shadow look. Shade, and then we are just going to paint it on. I'm gonna try to center my mirror a little bit better. Now we're just gonna kind of go halfway off camera. So I like to just follow. And then I lately have been kind of doing that thing that was on TikTok where it's like, I don't know how to describe it. You like go down like that. We'll see how it looks. Okay, I'm gonna apply the other side and then we will blend out. I'm really bad at applying contour evenly. Really, yeah, it's not good. Let's see. Okay. Have that. Let's just apply like the rest of the complexion products and we'll like blend them all at the end. I am going in now with that same shade. I'm gonna try to contour my nose a little bit. I should use a thinner brush, but I'm feeling very lazy. Oh, okay, that's a very muddy nose. Okay, now that we have the contour placed, let's go in and pick a bronzer. I'm going to use my Saie buffing brush. I really like this one for bronzer. And for shades, I am going to go in with this one here. It's looking like very orange on camera, but it's not in real life. So I am just tapping in with this brush. The brush is a little big for this, but... And then, ooh. Oh, okay, maybe that was a little orange. You know what, we're gonna make it work. Okay. Okay, yep, that's a little orangey. We're not going to apply that to like the temple area because I'm a little worried about what that will look like. So instead, let's do, I'm just going to kind of go back in that contour shade actually, and whoops, okay. Definitely had too much of that on my brush. Okay. Ooh, okay. It's giving Oompa Loompa. It is giving Oompa Loompa. But you know what? It's fine. We'll fix it. I'm not concerned. I'm actually going back in with that Libre brush that I used for my concealer. And I'm just buffing everything in. Okay, when it's blended out, it's not giving Oompa Loompa anymore on the cheeks. Okay. I'm hesitant to like try to find a better bronzer shade because I'm looking in here. The only like two potential, well, we have this contour shade and then we have this bronzer. This one would definitely be too light. And then the other ones are more highlighters. So I feel like we did the best we could with the bronzer situation, personally. But I am going to brighten a little bit here because I do want to try one of the like more highlighting, matte highlighting shades. So I am going to go in with my Sonia G Jumbo Concealer Brush. I'm just cleaning it off on a cloth in front of me. And then I'm going to go in with this lightest shade here. Okay, pray for me. I'm going to kind of go in along the nose here. I saw something on TikTok last night. I like rarely let myself go on TikTok because when I go on, I'm on it for 3 hours. So I go on like once a week. And I was served some great makeup tips. One of them was about highlighting like along here. I don't know if I'm doing it correctly, but okay. That definitely brightened over here. I'm going to go in and do the same on this side. It's a nice highlighting product, I will say. Okay. I'm gonna go down the center of my nose though, because that contour, because I was stupid and didn't use a thin brush, got a little muddy. So let's go down the center of the nose to highlight that. And then while we're at it, let's just like, I don't know, brighten up here and here. Because why not? Okay, I am going to buff this out. The complexion looks okay on my end. I'm kind of scared to watch it back on my computer later. I'll leave a comment on the screen if I have any commentary about how the complexion's looking. Because it looks fine, but oftentimes things will look fine and then I'll watch it back and I'll realize like nothing was blended, etc. But on my end, I think it looks okay. I liked that contour shade. I don't know how I feel about this so far. I'm kind of like, I mean, I get it's designed for makeup artists. Like, I knew that going in and purchasing it, but I'm a little on the fence about it. But let's move on to the eyes. I have already used this palette and I love it. So this is the Anastasia Cosmos palette, and I will insert a little like card on the screen for like pricing of all this stuff. But this is just a really beautiful, very beautiful palette with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mattes and then 1, 2, 7 shimmers. If I can do math correctly, I might be off a little bit, but these shimmers are really, really beautiful. I am going to insert a clip of swatches on my arm so you can really see what they look like up close. But immediately when I first used this palette, I was very impressed with the shimmers. A lot of them reminded me of like indie brand shimmers, and indie brands by far make the best shimmers. I guess with the exception of Pat McGrath is the one like mainstream brand that I think does shimmers really well. And a lot of these reminded me of indie brands like Quasar. I don't know if you can tell, but it just has a really, really pretty shift to it. And then Sun was also unique. Also has a little bit of a shift, but Quasar had the biggest shift of any of them. And then, I mean, Supernova's really pretty. It's like a purple to pink shift. Super Cluster. I mean, the shimmers are just absolutely beautiful. And then this Galaxy shade, like, what? Has little micro glitters in it. Super, super pretty. But we are not going to be doing anything too complicated with the palette today because I am like logging in for a work day and I, don't want to look like a space alien or anything. So we are going to use this in a very wearable way. So we are first going to go in with this shade here, Space Dust. I'm just going to go in with my BK Beauty 212 brush. I purchased all the BK Beauty brushes on my own, but I do not have a code with them. I believe it is Eva Hansen 10, but I will list it in the description box. Okay, so going in on Space Dust, it's a lot of kick up, but that doesn't really bother me. And I am just going to start applying that in the crease to create a little definition. I'm going to go in on the other side. I know some people like to like complete one eye and then move on, but I like to do them as I go. And I'm just going back with in windmill or windshield wiper motions. I'm gonna add a little bit more to this side. Now we have 2 roads we could take. We could take the road where I try to be more ambitious and potentially make this look not great, or we can go simple. I'm going to kind of go in between. I'm going to go like slightly more ambitious. And by slightly more ambitious, I mean I'm just going to take another color in the crease just to deepen it up a little bit before going in with a shimmer. So now I'm going in to shade Comet, which is slightly darker than Space Dust. And we are going in with our Sephora 24 brush. tapping off. And then I'm just kind of taking this just right in that outer section of my lid. And I am not an eyeshadow applying expert by any means. Like, it's one of my goals for this year actually, is to watch more tutorials and get better at eyeshadow. So definitely don't come to me for like really fancy good tutorials. I'm kind of more about what is a very beginner's look that people can do when it comes to makeup, because I'm not that advanced in my technique despite being a makeup lover and makeup hoarder. Okay, so now I have those two shades on my eyes, and I like really need to blend because there's a giant crease. So I am gonna go back in with the BK 212 and just start really blending those shades together, making sure that like that crease is really blended. And another, a benefit of working remotely and like not really leaving my house much is it's okay if the eyeshadow doesn't look perfect, because everything looks so much better on Zoom anyways. Okay, my camera overheated, so I'm not sure where we left off, but I think I was deciding which shimmer shade we were going to go in with on the eyes. I want to do Quasar because I used this last week and it was so beautiful, and it's like a duochrome, so it has that shift and it's a great one and done shadow. I'm going to go in with my fingers, or you could go in, of course, with a damp brush, but I like to apply with my finger. I mean, look at that. So I am going in just all over the lid. And even though this is like a really simple look, I hope it shows that you don't have to be like super advanced with makeup to use a palette like this. You can just pop a color in the crease and then go in with a really fun shimmer and get on with your day. Okay, I think that's all I need on the eyes. Like, just one layer of Quasar. Well, I guess I'm going back a little bit more here. I'm gonna carry that down here. Okay. Honestly, that's all we need to do for the eye palette. Like, look at that. Got a little bit of matte in the crease and then that shimmer shade. So pretty. Now let's switch over to cheeks, because we have one of the new Saie Glow Sculpt Cream highlighter blushes. Like, it reminds me of their attempt of being like a cream version of the bronzers from Bare Minerals. Like, a little bit. Similar concept. But these, I know some people like really didn't like them, but then I saw Kate of State, if you don't follow her, her channel's amazing, using this product on Instagram, and she really liked it. And I trust her reviews, so I was intrigued. And then I went into Sephora the other day after Trader Joe's, because obviously after doing the hard work of going through Trader Joe's and picking up my frozen vegetables, I deserve a reward by going into Sephora. So I went into Sephora, sanitized a tester, and applied it, and immediately fell in love. So I can't attest to the other shades because this is the only shade I have and the only one I tried on. But if you are on the fence about these, go into a Sephora. They have at least like 3 shades in most of the Sephoras on like a tiny display, and give it a test. But I have just really been loving this. The way I like to apply it is I just go in with my finger first. I am very interested in trying the new Saie brush that is meant to go with this. And then I just blend in with my beloved, again, BK Beauty 101, code linked down below. and I just pat it out. And the way I like to apply this, because it is like a highlighter slash blush, is I really make sure I am going around the eye a little bit as well to just give that really pretty, like, diffused look. Going in on the other side. And this is an extremely moussey formula. It is, I don't know how to describe it, like you can see. It's I don't know, it's very moussey and squishy, which makes for a fun, like, tactile makeup experience. I'm in love. I am in love. I really, really want to try the pink glow one next. Like, very badly. Very, very badly. Okay, the cheeks are done. I probably would just like end here normally because it's pretty glowy, but I do want to test out the highlighter from Makeup Forever. So we are going to go in to one of the highlighting shades. Let's do this one, which is the lightest one here. And I'm just going to apply with my finger because that's honestly how I prefer to apply most cream products. And then I'm going to go in on the top of my Cupid's bow. And I'm not going to attempt to like do anything in the inner corner because it's a cream product and I don't know. It just seems risky. And we are risk averse today. Okay, now blending in, I'm going to go in with the BK Beauty 109, which is like the little sister to this brush. And just pat the product in. To be honest, it didn't really need much. It kind of melted right into the skin right away, which is really nice the way that, ooh. I went ahead and applied my brows and my mascara. And the last step now is to apply the lips. So as I mentioned earlier, picked up one of the new Kosas wet stick lipsticks. I wasn't going to get one of these because I have so many of the YSL lip products. I am like a lip product junkie. I have so many, but this shade, when I swatched it in Sephora, I was in love. I was in love. It is the shade Malibu. And something I really love about this range is like all the shades are just like slight deviations of one another, which sometimes will bug me in a range, but I feel like for this type of product that's like slippy and slidey, you don't want bold colors because they'll get all over your face. So a lot of them are either variations of a light pink or variations of like a nude coral, which are like my two favorite lip colors. So I will definitely be picking more of these up in the future, maybe during the next Sephora sale. But these just go on so beautifully. They smell really good. To me, they smell like a donut without it being overpowering. Like, they smell like a donut that you'd get at like a healthy bakery, like a gluten-free donut. I don't know. One that's not overly sugary. Okay. Ugh. Beautiful. Something else I really love about these is like you can layer them up without them getting weird. Whereas you have to be careful when applying the Tarte, like Marajuka, or I never say that word right. The Tarte like Marajuka, whatever, lip products, you have to be careful because if you apply too much and you open your mouth, you get those little cobwebby things. This does not do that. Ugh. I'm in love. I am in love. Oh, this shade. In love. I also love the packaging. It's like lightweight without feeling cheap. I love that it's blue, which is different, and then Kosas is in purple. Oh, I love these. I love these. I love these. If you'd be interested in having me do a video of like my favorite, like shiny, slippy, slidey lip products, let me know down below because I have a lot of them and can give like an overview of what's good, what's not, and what's worth your money. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. Okay, Eva from the future here. And yes, I'm wearing like a winter coat because my basement's cold. I lost the footage of my recap of the Makeup Forever HD Skin Palette. And then 2 days later, I went to refilm my recap of that and also lost that footage. I don't know what is going on. So I'm here giving a quick recap of my thoughts on the HD Forever Skin palette. First of all, watching back the footage, I'm horrified because I did not blend it at all. And that's why you should like not rush when you're actually doing contour. So I acknowledge I fully looked like a clown in this video that you've been watching because anyways. But overall thoughts on the face palette. I did really like the contour shade and I have continued to use it. I liked the concealer shade. I liked the highlighter shade. Bronzer, there wasn't a bronzer for me. I wouldn't recommend purchasing it unless you are a makeup artist. And that's the intention of it. If you're not a makeup artist, you absolutely don't need it. For the price point, just find like 3 cream products that you really like. Get like the e.l.f. putty bronzer, the e.l.f. like putty contour, etc. You don't need to spend $85 on that. Okay, bye. Even from the future going away. Moving on to the blush, I love the Glow Sculpt in Mauveglow. I will say I am having like a pretty good skin week this week and I don't have a lot of texture on my cheeks. If you have highly texturized skin, I would probably recommend going into a Sephora and testing this out to see how it looks on you. But I am loving this, and especially this shade is just so beautiful. And I'm confused about why people are hating on it. Maybe those individuals have more texturized skin, which if that's the case, I understand why it wouldn't work for them, but I'm a big fan of this one. Now to the eyeshadow palette. I love this. I love this eyeshadow palette. If you are a big indie eyeshadow collector, you may already have like dupes in your collections of the shimmers, but if you're not a big indie eyeshadow person, I think it'll be really hard for you to find similar shimmer shades in your collection, like especially that Kosas shade and then that Galaxy shade. And I just love the matte shades that they chose for this. It makes it a very wearable palette where you can do something like I did with just a matte in the crease and then the shimmer on the lid and make it a very wearable like workday look. Or you can obviously go a little crazy if you want with Galaxy and some of the other shades. I will continue to play around with this and see like what other looks I come up with, but I've used this twice now and this is a big thumbs up recommendation for me. In closing it out with a lip product, you know I love this. I absolutely love this Kosas product. I am hoping they'll do like, I know their 20% off sale just ended, but I'm assuming they'll do like another big sale for Black Friday. So I will be picking up some more shades. I'm also like praying that maybe they do like a set with multiple shades for the holidays. So I'm going to force myself to resist picking any more up until I see what the holiday sets are. But this is a beautiful product. And yeah, I also think it's reasonably priced. It's $24 from Sephora. So a lot of lipsticks now are getting up to like the $40 range. So $24 sadly feels like a bargain. That is it for today's video. We actually had a lot of hits and only one like lukewarm meh product. Thanks so much for being here. Again, if you're not already, hit the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried any of these products, if you're going to pick any of them up, or like what other new releases you're super excited about.